Welcome back to BIM Heroes Radio. This is Episode 9.
Episode 9.
Where we're going to focus on coaching and mentorship in leadership.
Yes.
Tying into Week 9 of the BIMHero.io Leadership Development Program.
Yeah. Week 9 is
It's a big one.
It's a really meaty one.
It is.
There's a lot in there. There's so much packed into it. We've got a whole stack of articles here, all written by members of the BIM Hero community. And they're all diving deep into these different facets of mentorship and coaching.
Yeah. So we've got Robert Gittens from BIMSync'd. We've got Erica Crandon from Boeing.
Okay.
We've got Daria Zimovets from NIIAT. Larry Bridgesmith from Guardrail Technologies and Vanderbilt Law School.
Wow.
Andrijana Nasteska from NIRAS. Malik Gangani from Tata Consulting Engineers. And Ralph Montague, one of the founders of BIM Hero, also from ArcDox, and the BIM Coordinators Summit.
It's like we've got
a real all-star.
A real all-star cast here.
Okay.
Each article is like a lens, you know, giving us a different perspective on how these practices can really shape not just individual leaders, but whole organizations.
Yeah, and that's what we're aiming for in this deep dive. By the end of this, you'll not just understand, what mentorship and coaching are.
Right.
But you'll see why they're so crucial for effective leadership and how you can actually put these principles into practice.
I love that. Application. That's what it's all about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So why don't we kick things off with Robert Gittens?
Okay.
He really gets to the heart of why mentorship is so powerful. He makes this crucial distinction between formal and informal approaches.
Yeah. And it's so easy to just assume that formal mentorship is like the gold standard.
Right. Especially in a corporate setting.
Especially in a corporate setting, but he really challenges that assumption.
Yeah, he's like, hold on a second.
Yeah, hold on. Let's not dismiss the power of the informer.
The informer.
Yeah. Like even seasoned professionals who think they've got it all figured out, they can still benefit from guidance, whether it's structured or more organic.
And what I like is that he gives us points on how to approach it effectively.
Yes.
So for the formal side, he says, set expectations, schedule check-ins.
Okay.
Create a safe space.
Yeah.
And actually, this is a really important one, confidentiality.
Yes. That's something that is often overlooked. If you want to have a truly strong mentor-mentee relationship, that trust is paramount. You need to know that your conversations are protected.
Yeah. Exactly. And on the informal side, he talks about, being present in those everyday interactions. Be a good listener.
Right.
Offer advice when appropriate. And this is a really important one, too. Be open to learning from your mentee.
Yes. Mentorship is not a one-way street.
Well, it's a two-way street.
It is a two-way street. Both parties benefit. And it doesn't have to be this super official thing.
Exactly. And so that kind of brings us to Erica Crandon's article. She draws this fascinating parallel between coaching in the workplace and coaching in sports.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
Both involve, a deep level of commitment.
Yes.
Shared passion for excellence. And this real focus on helping individuals reach their potential.
Absolutely. Both involve pushing yourself beyond your perceived limitations.
Yeah. And I love that analogy. It really highlights that importance of the relationship between the coach and the person being coached.
Exactly. And she takes it a step further with this 4-level framework for developing coaching skills.
Okay.
So she starts with active inquiry, where the coach is really focused on understanding the other person's perspective, their strengths, their challenges. Okay. And then it moves to building frameworks, where you collaboratively set goals, establish clear expectations. Okay. Then we progress to thought leader.
Okay.
Where the coach guides the coachee to think critically, analyze situations, come up with their own solutions, and finally you reach the level of trusted advisor.
Oh, wow.
Right, where there's that deep understanding, mutual respect, and just this free flow of communication.
Beautiful.
It's a beautiful thing. It's like a roadmap for how coaching relationships can evolve over time to become more strategic, more impactful.
Now, shifting gears a little bit, let's talk about Daria Zimovets' article, which offers a really practical guide to implementing a formal mentorship program within an organization.
Okay.
And she lays out all the key advantages, like knowledge transfer, increased employee engagement, and a stronger leadership pipeline.
So important, right? I mean, if we're not developing our future leaders, what are we doing?
Exactly. One thing that struck me was how she emphasized the need for clear goals and structure.
Right. It's not enough to just
like pair people up and say,
have mentorship.
Yeah, good luck.
Good luck with that. Yeah. You really need to define what success looks like, provide training and resources, create a system for monitoring progress.
It's like building a house. You need a blueprint. You need materials. You need workers.
Absolutely. A solid foundation is key.
Yeah. And she gives us concrete steps for doing that. So it's really valuable for anyone listening who's, looking to create a sustainable mentorship program.
Love it.
Okay. So speaking of sustainability and long-term vision, let's move on to Larry Bridgesmith's article,
right,
where he tackles the topic of succession planning. And he makes this point that it's not just about, filling vacancies.
Right.
It's about really strategically preparing for the future, ensuring the organization's continued success.
So important, so often overlooked.
It is. And what I found fascinating was how he links succession planning to leadership development.
Yes.
It's not just about identifying potential successors. It's about actively cultivating their skills, giving them opportunities for growth, creating a culture where leadership is valued, nurtured.
Yeah.
And he backs this up with some case studies.
Okay.
The example of Apple.
Yeah.
And how they navigated the transition after Steve Jobs' passing.
Such a great example.
It really highlights the importance of thinking ahead.
Yeah.
And having a plan in place.
It really does.
And on that note, let's bring in Andrijana Nasteska's article, which takes a much more personal approach to this idea of providing career guidance and support. She shares her own experiences feeling lost in the jungle of career choices.
Yeah.
Which I think a lot of people can relate to.
Oh, I think everyone at some point has felt that way.
Right. And what's so refreshing about her perspective is she doesn't view indecision as a failure. She sees it as an opportunity for self-discovery.
I love that.
And she encourages leaders to create this supportive environment where people feel comfortable exploring different paths.
Yeah.
And she says, understand their aspirations, give honest feedback, connect people with opportunities that align with their strengths.
It's all about empowerment?
It is. Empowering people to take ownership of their careers.
Yeah.
Guiding them towards a path that feels fulfilling. Even if it takes a few twists and turns along the way.
Exactly. The path is rarely linear.
Rarely linear. Okay, so that leads us perfectly to Montague Gangani's article. Which is all about building a learning culture within an organization.
Yeah.
And he puts so much emphasis on leadership by example.
Yeah, he's a big believer in walking the walk.
Walking the walk.
Right.
Like if you want your team to be passionate about learning, you got to embody that yourself.
Lead the way.
Yeah. Show a genuine curiosity.
Yeah.
Be willing to grow. Commit to continuous improvement.
Right. And it's not just about formal training programs or workshops. It's about creating an environment where learning is embedded in the day-to-day work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where people feel comfortable asking questions, sharing knowledge, experimenting.
Yes. And viewing mistakes as opportunities to learn.
Exactly. It's about cultivating that growth mindset.
Yes. And finally, to tie everything together, let's bring in Ralph Montague's Week 9 summary, where he focuses on what he calls the enduring principles of leadership. So these are visionary, inspirational, authentic,
I love these,
dynamic,
and
balanced.
They're so powerful, and they're woven throughout every single article we've talked about today.
They are. A visionary leader sets a clear direction, inspires others to follow. An inspirational leader motivates, empowers their team. An authentic leader builds trust through genuine connection.
Absolutely.
Dynamic leader adapts to change, embraces challenges. And a balanced leader provides both support and challenge to help their team grow.
It's like these principles are the foundation of effective leadership. And then these practices like coaching and mentorship are the building blocks that help us bring those principles to life.
They're all interconnected, aren't they?
They are, creating this really powerful framework for leading with impact and fostering that culture of growth and development.
And as we reflect on all this information, it's important to remember that this deep dive, it's not just theory, it's about application.
Absolutely. So think about which parts resonated most with you today.
Yeah. What surprised you? What insights are you going to implement in your own leadership journey?
Yeah. How can you become a better mentor or coach? Whether it's within your team, your organization, or even in your personal life.
Yeah. Food for thought?
Definitely.
Yeah.
So building on those enduring principles, Let's loop back to Robert Gittens for a second.
Okay.
His insights on the whole formal versus informal mentorship thing.
Yeah.
Remember, he was highlighting the importance of choosing the right approach based on the situation the individual's involved.
You're right. It's not one size fits all, is it?
It's not. A formal program can be incredibly effective when you've got that structured environment. Very specific goals.
Right. Think about onboarding new employees.
Yeah.
Or, developing a particular skill set.
Exactly. Formal mentorship provides that framework.
Yeah.
But like Gittens pointed out, informal mentorship can be just as powerful, especially when there's already a strong foundation of trust, open communication.
Yeah. It's about recognizing those organic moments that happen naturally.
Yeah.
Within a team, within an organization.
Absolutely. Sometimes a simple conversation over coffee can be more impactful than a scheduled meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this kind of segues perfectly into what Erica Crandon was talking about.
Yes.
With your 4 levels of coaching.
Yeah.
That framework really resonated with me.
Me too. It's beautiful, isn't it? It shows how that coaching relationship can evolve, starting with that active listening inquiry, moving towards establishing goals, expectations, and then eventually reaching that level of trusted advisor.
Oh, it's so good.
Where you've got that deep understanding, mutual respect.
It's like the coach becomes a sounding board.
Yeah.
A confidant, a strategic partner.
Absolutely. And that journey, that evolution is crucial for both the coach and the person being coached. Yeah. It's about growth on both sides.
Yeah, it reminds me of something Daria Zimovets said about creating a culture of continuous learning within an organization.
Oh, yeah.
And mentorship and coaching play a vital role in that.
Absolutely. And she really emphasized that, these mentorship programs shouldn't be a set it and forget it kind of thing.
No.
You need ongoing support, resources, attention to make sure they're thriving, delivering value.
It's like tending a garden. You've got to nurture it, provide the right conditions, make adjustments.
Exactly.
If you want it to flourish.
And when done well, mentorship can have this ripple effect. Throughout the whole organization, you create that culture of learning, collaboration, growth.
Yeah. Thinking about Larry Bridgesmith's article on succession planning, it struck me how much this concept goes hand in hand with developing future leaders.
You're absolutely right. He made the point that succession planning isn't just about filling those vacancies.
Yeah.
It's about proactively preparing for the future, making sure the organization continues to succeed.
It's about identifying those high potential individuals, giving them the opportunities, the support they need to step into those leadership roles when the time comes.
Right. Investing in the future.
The case studies he shared were so powerful. The one about Apple and how they had a plan in place, for the eventual transition after Steve Jobs, it just shows you how important it is to have that long-term vision.
Right. Think ahead.
And invest in leadership development. Yeah. And this ties in nicely to Andrijana and Nasteska's article about providing that career guidance and support. She emphasized, creating an environment where people feel comfortable exploring different options, pursuing their passions.
I love that. Giving people the space to discover what truly lights them up.
Her story about feeling lost in the career jungle was so relatable.
Oh, yeah. We've all been there at some point.
Haven't we? What I appreciated was how she doesn't see indecision as a weakness. She sees it as a natural part of the journey.
Yeah.
And she encourages leaders to embrace that.
It's about encouraging exploration, asking questions, seeking guidance, being open to new possibilities.
Yeah. It's about empowering people to take ownership of their careers, guiding them towards a path that aligns with their values, their strengths, their aspirations.
It's about finding that sweet spot where passion and purpose intersect.
Yes. Which brings us to Malik Gangani's article on building a learning culture. And he made such a strong case for leading by example.
He did. He said if you want your team to be passionate about learning, you have to embody that yourself. Show genuine curiosity, willingness to grow,
commitment to improvement,
walking the walk, not just talking the talk.
Exactly.
And it's not just about formal training programs or workshops. It's about creating that environment where learning is embedded in the everyday work.
Yeah.
Where people feel comfortable asking questions, sharing knowledge, experimenting.
Yes. And seeing those mistakes as learning experiences.
Exactly. Cultivating that growth mindset.
And that brings us back full circle.
Yes.
To those enduring principles of leadership that Ralph Montague highlighted. Visionary, inspirational, authentic,
dynamic, Balance.
Think about how those show up in your own leadership style.
Yeah. Are you a visionary leader who inspires others with a clear sense of purpose and direction?
Are you an authentic leader who builds trust and rapport through genuine connection, vulnerability?
Are you a dynamic leader? Adaptable, resilient in the face of change?
Are you a balanced leader who provides both support and challenge to help your team grow?
So many great things to ponder.
Important questions to consider as we continue on our leadership journeys. And remember, leadership isn't a destination.
Right.
It's an ongoing process of learning
and
evolving.
And as we've seen throughout this whole deep dive, coaching and mentorship are essential tools for accelerating that growth, both for ourselves and for those we lead.
And you know what's so exciting about this is that anyone can embrace these principles.
Right. It doesn't matter what your job title is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You don't have to be the CEO to be a mentor or a coach.
You don't. It's about recognizing that we all have something to offer.
And something to learn.
It's like that saying.
Yeah.
It takes a village to raise a child. We all play a role in supporting each other's growth.
We do. And that kind of brings us back to our original mission for this deep dive, to help you understand not just what these things are, but why they're so important and how you can put them into action.
We've covered a lot of ground. The different types of mentorship, tips for implementing programs, those enduring principles. It's a lot.
It is a lot.
Yeah.
But it's all connected.
It is. So as we wrap up,
just
take a minute to reflect.
Yeah. What really resonated with you today?
What surprised you?
What are you inspired to do now?
What actions can you take to make a positive impact through mentorship and coaching, both in your professional life and beyond?
Yeah. Because it extends beyond the workplace, doesn't it?
It really does. And remember, you can find all those articles, plus a ton more resources on www.bwio.
Absolutely.
And of course, subscribe to our channels on YouTube and Spotify.
Yes. For more, BIM Heroes Radio will be back in January 2025.
2025.
With more deep dives.
More to explore.
Until then.
Yeah.
We wish you happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
A fantastic start to the new year. Keep learning.
Keep growing.
And keep leading.